Hey guys, it's Fee, and I am doing a vlog from my bed because I almost forgot to do my tag today. So I'm going to try and make this relatively quick, though relatively quick for me is almost never quick. um, I am going to do the favorite movies tag. This is a pretty simple one. I did find it by searching around on YouTube for tags, just like I have found most of these tags that I'm doing. Off the top of my head, I do not remember who started this tag, but I will link the vlogs below that I found it on. This is the favorite movies tag. You're supposed to list out 10 of your favorite movies. You can either do them in order, or you can do them in random order, which is what I believe most people do because it's really hard to order some of your favorite movies. Or if you want to do particular sections like name a couple of animateds, name a couple of black and whites, name a couple of actions. You can do things like that. I am going to kind of do that last thing because no matter how much I try to narrow this list down, I can't get it down to 10. I used to be a huge movie person. I don't watch nearly as many movies as I used to in my college days, but the movies that I do watch now, I guess I'm kind of picky. I don't know. But half of my list is actually sagas, stories, more than one movie, a bunch of movies that go together. And I can't really separate those out, in my opinion. They all kind of go together. It's one big storyline. So I'm going to list those out first, and there are 5 of them. So each saga or trilogy or whatever it may be is going to be considered one on this list. So first on my list has to be the Star Wars saga. I'm going to say all 6 movies. I know a lot of people only like the original 3, but I do really like all 6. I think there's something to say about what Lucas was able to do by creating 4, 5, and 6, and then going back to do 1, 2, and 3, how many decades later. And my favorite part, really, in that ability is the very, very last scene of episode 3 and how it links to episode 4 of the original 3 Star Wars that we all know and love. So, number 1, Star Wars saga, hands down. I would lose my geek card if that was not number 1 on my list. Number 2, I have to go with Lord of the Rings, the original Lord of the Rings saga, not including The Hobbit that they're doing now. I really do like The Hobbit, but I need to see all of them, and I love the original Lord of the Rings saga. I cannot tell you how many times I watched those. Arguably, I may have watched those more than Star Wars movies. But more particularly, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to this. I only watch the extended editions. Those missing scenes from the theatricals are so important to me. If I'm watching the theatrical one at somebody's house or it's showing on the TV and I just kind of left it on, I get to one of those scenes and then to me it's like, hey, wait a minute, where did that scene go? That belongs there. So I only watch the extended editions. Number 3, don't throw tomatoes at me. Don't judge. I like my sparkly vampires. I like the Twilight Saga. That's another one that I have watched a gazillion times. I really like it. I did read the books first. Just for the record, I did read the books first. So really, the movies are more eye candy than anything else. Alright, number 4, the Back to the Future saga. No list would be complete without that. Hands down. I think I have bought that movie similar to Star Wars on VHS, on regular DVD, and when it came out on Blu-ray, I was there on the day it came out because I had to have it. Just had to have it. Anything with a DeLorean in it, Michael J. Fox, what can I tell you? If I had to pick my favorite one of those, though, I think I'd have to go with Back to the Future 3. Don't know why, I just think I watched that one the most out of all of them. Alright, and the 5th saga or trilogy or story or whatever it applies to would have to be Pirates of the Caribbean. What Johnny Depp has done for those movies is amazing. And I will not forget the first time I read that Jack Sparrow was not written that way in script. It's just what Johnny Depp did to the character. I can't imagine what those movies would be like if he hadn't done what he did and created Jack Sparrow to be the crazy character that we all like. So those are my 5, which is technically half of this list. On to the singular movies. And this is going to be kind of, I don't want to say piecemeal together, but it's going to be, there's really no theme to this. All 4 of these movies are all something completely different. So the first one is one that's not really as well known as a lot of the other ones, Kingdom of Heaven. Now, I will admit that when I originally got into this movie, it was because of Orlando Bloom. This came out, I don't remember if it was in the middle of the Lord of the Rings movies or just after. So that's what started at Orlando Bloom. But when I watched that movie, I was like, wow, he did a really awesome job. And it's directed by Ridley Scott. So unfortunately, this is another one of those movies that I will only watch the director's cut. Some of the scenes that were cut out in the theatrical I love them, and I didn't think they had any business being on the cutting room floor, but I do understand why they did it, because the director's cut is extremely long, but it's really well worth it. You do not have to be religious to watch this movie. I am religious, but that's not normally my cup of tea with movies. But this one, though it is about the Crusades and the Holy Wars, it tells a story in a completely different perspective. You got to watch it to understand. The next one, so we're going to jump to a completely different genre here, and I'm going to go with Inception. That's another movie that I can watch over and over and over again. Leonardo DiCaprio was awesome sauce in that movie, and every time I watch that movie, that last scene, first time you think it's going to fall, the next time you don't think it's going to fall. The next time you watch it, you think it's going to keep going. The next time after that, you're like, no, it's going to fall. They shot that last scene just right, where depending on your point of view that day, your opinion could be different. Next one, and this would be 5, 6, 7, number 8. Again, I am probably going to go over 10 here. Number 8, Forrest Gump. There is no movie list out there that should not have Forrest Gump on it, for good movies at least. Tom Hanks, Gary Sinise, just the timeline of that movie is just, it's amazing. It really is. And I can watch that movie a dozen times in 6 months, and I will enjoy it for all different reasons each time. There's so many different stories and things to learn from that movie that it really is amazing, and it earned every award that it ever got. And the last one, this is kind of going back to the timepieces, kind of. I've got to go with Titanic. I know it's cheesy, but that movie was so well done. So well done, and I never get tired of it. The scene of the old lady dropping the heart of the ocean back into the ocean, man, it gets me every time. Every time. So that's 9. And here's where I'm going to falter. There is no way I can only pick one more. I haven't even gotten to animated movies. So quickly, I see I'm at 10 minutes already. I've got to toss a couple of animated movies in here. I'm going to go with 3, which is going to put me up to 12 when I should only be picking 10. Sorry, guys. The Little Mermaid, The Lion King, and Monsters University. I know most people would say, why not Monsters, Inc.? I don't know. I just really enjoyed Monsters University. I know that's a newer one, but the newer animated movies, it takes me a while to see them. I do eventually see them. But I've seen that one like 4 or 5 times, and for me it hasn't been out for that long. So that's saying something. I just really enjoyed Monsters University. The Little Mermaid, hey, I've got a Little Mermaid painting sitting on my wall, so what does that tell you? I love The Little Mermaid. And The Lion King, that's another one of those movies. That scene with Mufasa, oh my gosh. Every time it makes me cry. Okay, and there are 2 more that I have to mention, otherwise this list would be incomplete for me. My absolute favorite movies of all time. The next one, Princess Bride. My name is Inigo Montoya. You know the rest of the line. And finally, Contact. Kind of a sci-fi movie, kind of a thinker kind of movie. I'm not even quite sure how to describe that one. If you haven't seen it, go and rent it. Go and Netflix it. I cannot recommend that movie more if you're into sci-fi, if you're into wanting to know if we're the only ones in the universe. That movie has one of my favorite lines in it. If we were the only ones in the universe, it would be an awful waste of space. And that movie just completely caught me off guard. The ending of that movie is what you want it to be. It doesn't really give you a flat-out answer, but man, if you've never seen it, I would say the last 45 minutes of that movie is filled with twists and turns that you're probably not going to expect from the beginning. Highly, highly recommend Contact. Okay, that's it. So that was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 movies. So I went way over 10. Sorry, guys. But that is my favorite movies. If you're a movie buff, or if you just have a bunch of movies that you absolutely love, please do this tag. I'd love to see what your favorites are. And inbox me or message me below. Let me know that you've done this tag so I can go and watch it. I'll talk to you guys later.